essentially what we're trying to do today is take one figure and see what transformations were done to get it mapped onto another figure. Okay? So you're kind of going backwards. If we take a look at the first example, it says figure STUVW is transformed to produce the image S prime, T prime, U prime, V prime, W prime. Identify the transformation that was performed and write the rule for the transformation. Okay? Well, think about the three different types of transformations we talked about. We talked about translations, reflections, and rotations. Informally, what do we do when we do a translation? Yeah, we just move it. We just slide it, right? You slide it up, down, left, right, it slides. Okay? When you do a reflection informally, what are we doing with a figure? We're doing what? Yeah, we're just flipping it, right? You just take it, flip it over something. And we do a rotation, what are we doing informally with the figure? We're just doing what? Rotations, well, what's an informal word for rotating? You're just turning it, okay? So think about sliding, flipping, and turning. When we slide a figure around, does it change the orientation at all? No, right? If we flip something, if we take it and flip it, does it change the orientation? Yeah, it does. It's mirrored. So it's like looking in a mirror, everything's opposite. So yeah, it changes. And when we turn something, is it changing its orientation? The way it's pointing. Yes. So reflections and rotations change a figure's orientation. A translation doesn't. So to figure out, did I do a reflection, a rotation, or translation, pick 1 point on the original figure, the one without the tick marks, and 1 point on the image, the one with the tick marks. Okay? Are both those points pointing in the same direction? Yeah, they're still U still pointing kind of towards the top. U prime is still pointing towards the top. So that's telling me that the orientation of the figure didn't change. So if there's no change in orientation, what type of transformation did we do? Hey, what? Yeah, we just did a translation. We just slid the figure. We didn't flip it. We didn't turn it. Everything just stayed the same. It just slid over and up. So we have to write a rule. This is how you write a rule for a translation. You have to put X, Y with an arrow. And this is how you write a rule for a translation. You have to write it this way. Can't write it in sentence form. And then you put the parentheses, X something, Y something. And then you have to figure out which direction and how many units it moved. So to get U to map up to U prime, which direction did we have to move first? Right or left? Left. How many units left did we move to get it to be in line? 3. So if we want left 3, are we going to put X plus 3 or X minus 3? So we want 1, 2, 3. And then to get it to map up onto U prime, we want up 4. So it's going to be plus 4. And that's how you write the rule. Right translation. Questions over there? So if we take a look here, figure KLMN is transformed to create image. I don't know why produces in there. K prime, L prime, M prime, and N prime. Identify the transformation that was performed and write the rule for the transformation. So if we take a look, again, I'm going to pick L prime and L. Here's the pre-image, there's the image, it has tick marks. Are they oriented the same way? No. This point, L and K were towards the top, now L or K are towards the bottom. So we either did a reflection or a rotation. Based off how it changed, what do we think we did? A reflection. It looks like we flipped it, right? Because LK was on the top, we flipped it, now it's on the bottom, we did a reflection. about 3 in this unit. We'll talk about 1 more next unit. So for the rule for reflection, you can write this one out in sentence form. Reflection over. We just have to figure out, well, what did we reflect it over? What's our line of reflection? To figure this out, we know the line of reflection is directly in the middle of the two figures because they're the same distance from the line of reflection. So to figure that out, count the distance in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's half of 10? 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where we land. We land right there. So we always flip something over a line. So which way do we have to draw that line? Vertical or horizontal? Horizontal. So that's the line we reflected over. You can kind of guess and check. I'm just going to make sure if I reflect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. They're mapping up. So I know that's the right line. If you guess and you draw your line and they're not mapping up, then you know you need to fix this. So we have to write an equation of that line. Well, what axis is it going through? It's going through the y-axis, so it's going to be y equals. What number on the y-axis is it going through? So it's y equals 3. Questions overhead? We're going to skip example 2. We did it first period and just made class a little long. And we don't really see ones like this. So sometimes we can do more than one type of transformation to a figure. We saw that yesterday. So we can map a figure onto another figure using more than one type of transformation. Okay? A lot of the times, the questions are going to be either select all that apply, multiple choice, or fill in the blank, what we're seeing on the back. So take a look at example 3. This is which of the following transformations would map figure A, B, C, D, E, F onto A prime, C, B prime, C prime, D prime, E prime, and F prime. Select all that apply. So when you see that, what's that telling you? It says select all that apply.
Looks like all the ones that
There's more than one. Sorry. Yeah, there's going to be more than one answer. So if you circle an answer, that doesn't mean stop and move on to the next problem. You have to keep looking for more right answers. And when you're given this type of question, it might seem like a pain in the butt, but all you have to do is just go through each answer option and figure out which ones work and which ones don't. We just have to change one thing real quick. Flip-flop these. Change this to x equals -2. Change that one x equals. I just didn't see the little tick mark, so I wrote down the wrong line in the wrong word. So just go through your list. And you can kind of tell by looking at some of these, like this is definitely not going to work. Like if we take a look at A, it says a reflection across the y-axis. And we always start with the free image, the one without the tick marks. If I take this figure and flip it over the y-axis, is that going to work? No, we're changing the orientation. And you can even just try the transformation. You can go, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's where A lands. A did not map up with A prime. Can't be an answer. And you don't have to do every single point. Pick one, do the transformation and see if it maps up with the corresponding point in the other figure. If it does, check the other ones. If it doesn't, then you're done. You don't have to do all this work in transforming the whole entire figure. Oh, sorry, change that to right, this one to right. Change left to right here. If we take a look at B, it says a translation, it should say right 6 units. Well, let's see if that works. Again, pick A. We're going to translate it right 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did A map up with A prime? Yeah. Here's the thing. When that happens, check the other ones. So a lot of times what happens is they like to trick you and make one point work, but all the other ones don't. So check the other ones. So then you're just going to translate the other ones left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That worked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That worked. That worked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can see, when we check the other ones and we translate them all right 6, it works. So that's our answer. One of our answers. It says select all that apply, so we have to keep going. Okay. So when we take a look at C, it says a rotation of 180 degrees about the origin, followed by a reflection over the x-axis. So let's do that. And again, all you do is just pick one point. I'm going to stick with A. Write down the coordinates of A. We do a 180 degree rotation. What do we do with the point?
You just change this.
Yeah, very good. There's no flip. You just change the sign of both. So -4, -2 becomes +4, +2. I'm going to plot it. Okay. And then it says a reflection over the x-axis. If we reflect that point over the x-axis, is it going to map up with A? Nope. You can even try it. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's where it lands. It doesn't map up with A prime. Not going to be the answer. If we take a look at D, it says a reflection over x equals -2, followed by a reflection over x equals 1. Well, let's try it out. I'm going to go to where x is 2, or -2. Put a point. What kind of line do we have to draw through that point? A vertical line. Okay. And then I'm going to go to where x is 1, put a point. And again, what kind of line do we have to draw through that? A vertical line. Opposite way of the axis is on. And then we're going to do that reflection. So I'm going to start with A again. I'm going to reflect it over this line. 1, 2, 1, 2. Then I'm going to reflect it over the second line. 1, 1. Did it work? Yeah. Try the other ones. Just because one works doesn't mean they're all going to work. So just try the other ones. I'm going to reflect F. 1, 1. Then 1, 2, 1, 2. Did that one work? Some of you might be thinking, well, what about D and E? Because they're on the other side of that line. So when you flip it, it's going to go the other direction. Well, let's try it. If I reflect E, when I count, E is 1, 1. And then I'm going to reflect it over the second line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Did E map up with E prime? Yes. So it does work. You check all those points, it will end up mapping. And then this one says a reflection over the x-axis followed by a 180-degree rotation. Well, if rotating it and then reflecting it the same way didn't work, do you think flipping and then rotating it's going to work? These are pretty much the same thing, just different order. And if one didn't work, the other one's probably not going to work either. But always double. Questions? Okay. Helpful hint, a translation and a double reflection will get you to the same spot. So if you just slide something to the left or slide something to the right, or up or down, just one direction for a translation, doing a double reflection will get you to the same spot. So that's a helpful hint to see, to rule some things out. If you have a translation, look for the answers that are double reflections, because they'll probably be the right ones. You just have to make sure it's not like a trick double reflection where the lines don't work. So I'll still check them, but helpful hint. For example 4 says, which of the following transformations would map figure PQRS onto P prime, Q prime, R prime, and S prime? Select all that apply. You have to select all that apply one again. So you just have to go down your list. Circle is the one that works. Okay? So A is saying a rotation about the origin 180 degrees. So again, pick a point. That -2, -2. Do we do a 180 degree rotation? Do we flip our point at all? No. What happens to the signs of both? You just split. So P prime is going to become 2, 2. I'm going to leave that as P. So I'm going to go flat 2, 2. Did P map up with P prime? Yep. So check the other one. Sometimes one point works and the other ones don't. So I'm going to try Q. We have -1, 2. Then do the 180 rotation, no flip, change the sign of both. At that point, 1 negative, or, sorry. Oh, I wrote down the wrong one. Sorry, that was 1 -2. I was looking at the prime. I can't see those prime marks. They're so tiny. Sorry, that was 1 -2. That would become -1 +2. Mrs. Clean. Hi. Yes. Yes. So then we plot -1 +2. Q mapped up with Q prime. I would just check one more just to be sure. Okay? Let's try S. S is located at -3, -4. So we do the 180 degree rotation. We get +3, +4. No flip. Change the sign of both. And S mapped up with S prime. If 3 of them map up, the 4th one's going to map up. You don't really have to worry about that last one. So yes, this one worked. B is saying a reflection over the x-axis. Just looking at that, is a reflection over the x-axis going to work? No. They're not aligned when you flip it. It's just not going to work. Again, test to point out. I'm going to try P. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, didn't work. P did not map up with P. If we take a look at C, it says a translation right 1 unit, then up 4. So let's try it. Now I'm going to take P. Go right 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. Did that one work? Why didn't it work? It matched up with a point.
It matched up with the P.
Good. It didn't match up with the correct one. So that's really important. P has to map up with P prime. And it didn't in this transformation. It matched up with Q. It has to map up with the correct one. And that doesn't work. That's tricky. Pay attention to that. For D, it says a reflection over the y-axis followed by a reflection over the x-axis. So let's try that. Okay. So again, I'm just going to start with P. So it's a reflection over the y-axis, so I'm going to do that. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then a reflection over the x. 1, 2, 1, 2. Did that one work? Yeah. Try the other one. Okay. I'm going to try Q. 1, 1. There's Q. And then 1, 2, 1, 2. That one worked. And try one more just to be sure. I'll try S again. S is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. S worked. That means R has to work. So that is the correct. And then E, is E going to be an answer? Are we going to circle E? Does that one end up working out? It does? Let's check then. Let's see. It might seem like it does. So E is saying a translation right 1. So I'm going to take P, move it right 1. And then up for reflection over the x-axis. So reflect 1, 2, 1, 2. It mapped up, but did it map up with the right point? No. So that's not going to be our answer. So you have to pay attention to that.
For D, where's the y-axis going?
It's, see how it has y? This is the y-axis. This guy right here is your x-axis.
But like, it says like y minus, oh.
That's a dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not the first person. You're fine. Yeah, we're still used to seeing that thinking it's a y minus sign. It's just a dash. Because it's like abbreviated, so just typing it. Other questions? We'll do one more. So example 3 says complete the statement below to show that triangle JQV maps onto triangle EWT. Well, on all the ones we've done so far, we clearly knew what the pre-image was and the image, because this one didn't have tick marks, this one did. So we know P had to match up with P prime. Q had to match up with Q prime. Makes sense. This one, the letters are totally different in each figure. So how to figure out which point matches up with which is how they're written. So think J is written first. So J has to map up with what? What's written first in the other triangle? E. So J is going to map up with E. Q is going to map up with what? W. And B is going to map up with T. Right? Based on how they're written. And sometimes these problems are going to be fill in the blank, which aren't too bad, because they're at least telling you what transformation you're doing. You just have to figure out kind of the rules for those. You have to figure out, well, I know I'm doing a rotation. I just have to figure out how many degrees I'm rotating by. I know I'm doing a translation. I just have to figure out what direction and how many units I'm moving. I know I'm doing a reflection. I just have to figure out what am I flipping it over. So we take a look at this statement. It says map triangle JQV onto triangle EWT by a reflection across blank, followed by a translation blank units. You have to fill in those blanks. So I know I'm going to flip and then slide this figure. Whenever I'm given a reflection, I try to reflect it over an axis if I can. Check that first. And then if an axis doesn't work, then try to figure out a line. Okay? So, which axis does it make the most sense to flip this figure over? Does it make sense to flip it over the x-axis or a y-axis? If you're not sure, pick a point. I'm going to pick V. V is supposed to map up with T. Okay? V is pointing to the right, T is pointing to the left. We want these to point in the same direction. So what do you think we have to do with JQV? Flip it over the y-axis. And we're going to try it. And sometimes you just kind of have to guess and check with these. Just guess and check. So let's flip it over the y-axis. 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now they're oriented in the same direction. These are pointing in the same direction. These are pointing in the same direction. Those are pointing in the same. They're all oriented. It's oriented the same way. We just need to do our translation. We just need to slide. Okay. Do we have to move left or right at all to get these points to map up? No. Which direction do we just have to move? Up. How many units up are we moving? How many units are we moving? 5. We move each one up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. V mapped up with T, that's what we wanted. J mapped up with E, that's what we wanted. And Q mapped up with W, that's what we wanted. So we would just say translation up 5. Questions on that? And again, you might just have to guess and check some of these things. rotations, you might have to play around with it a little bit. Think about with rotations how many quadrants it jumps. 90 degrees, jumps 1 quadrant, 180 jumps 2 quadrants, 270 jumps 3 quadrants. That will help you out. Okay. Questions over that? No?